Hi, AT from CNC at Home. I needed to finish up a graduation coaster project I was doing for a friend of ours named Annika. I'm making a few coasters that represent some of the things that she likes to do, such as ultimate frisbee and music. I did a couple in an earlier video that were volleyball and basketball related. I'm using my Atom Stack P7 to do this, just one coaster at a time. Get these burned up, and that process worked fairly well. Nothing new here, using the titanium dioxide. These turned out really great. One thing that I do want to have for this project is a nice box dispenser. Let's take a look how that's done. In doing the burn for the coaster display box for Annika, the piece of scrap that I had did not have enough room for this whole thing at one time. There was a nice skinny piece over on the one side where I could do this, so I just selected those and had it burn those. I thought I had enough room to burn the rest of this, and when I did my frame option, it turned out that this piece was actually going to be off the material slightly just because of how that piece of scrap was. What I'm doing is burning the rest of this minus this piece. Once this is all done, I will move the laser origin. I'll put it basically up here because I think there's going to be room on the scrap piece to burn it right up here in this area. So I physically am not going to move it in light burn. I do have my cut selected graphics turned on, and I have it use selected origin. So this is going to be the origin for this piece, so I will just move the laser to a spot where there's this much room, and there's plenty of those on this piece of scrap that'll fit this one piece, so that won't be a problem. A little tricky, complicated, but it allowed me to use a piece of scrap for this instead of doing a whole new piece. Back at the laser, this time using the Genmitsu LC50 Plus. I'm doing a frame around where I want to burn these pieces out to make sure that the material is going to work. That's how I found that the second part of this burn wasn't going to work. Here's the second part of the burn. We'll start out by burning in the name, and then we'll cut out some of the pieces. I'll put an arrow over on the side here where the missing piece would have gone and just wouldn't quite have fit there. While this one was cutting, something that I've always tried to do, and I don't know why it didn't hit me earlier, but I like to make sure that the pieces are cut all the way through before I move the laser, so that if I need to recut an edge, I can do that easily. What I've run into in the past was trying to pick a piece out. I ended up moving my material, which means I cannot re-laser an area because I'll never get it lined up perfectly. So my thought was, I can use a piece of masking tape. I just stick that on the piece, and then that lets me lift it up out of the way. If it doesn't lift up easily, that means the little piece didn't cut all the way through, and I can just recut that section. As we can see, I've gotten great utilization out of this piece of craft plywood. There's a little bit of room here and here, and over here there's a little bit of material. What I can do is I can easily snap off in this area just to save this little chunk. I can snap off here, and here, and just kind of save this little area, and this will be easy to save. I've just got some small pieces if I need a little small piece for something. Don't want to waste this stuff. The next step is to get all of the pieces glued together. I just simply use wood glue and a Q-tip, apply the glue, use some masking tape as a clamp. That seems to work really well. For those of you who know Annika, don't tell her. This is supposed to be a present, a surprise. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you like the content of our channel, think about subscribing. That really helps us out. Enjoy doing your CNC at home projects.
Oops.